Technology and innovation is the future of Africa and remains a frontier that only the bold, strong, and creative entrepreneur can venture into. Today, it is all about breaking barriers in tech. Join me as we journey into the technological world of engineer Shehu Tijjani Abdullahi, the founder, CEO of Armal Technologies, a leading consumer electronics manufacturing company in Nigeria. From overcoming obstacles to achieving remarkable success, Engineer Abdullahi's story underscores the power of innovation and determination. In an exclusive interview with Nina, we had the privilege of sitting down with a true pioneer, uncovering the fascinating story of a visionary leader who has defied the odds and achieved remarkable success. Get ready to be inspired by the tale of resilience, innovation, and triumph. It is The Edge, and my name is Patience Abba.
The moment I realized that we need to move Nigeria from consumption into production. And that is the point where, as a maker, that was before 2018 when this company was founded, I was like a hobbyist, and then also making, prototyping different types of products. So for any product you try to make or you try to produce or prototype, I realized that you can do it in a manual way, like in the conventional old way of doing products. But if you want to do it professionally to eliminate any errors or to have it done in the proper way, you have to send that design to China, India, or anywhere. So I now realize that no one is doing anything in Nigeria, no one is doing anything in Africa. The only country in the entire of Africa that is producing PCB is South Africa. So that was the point I realized that we need to move Nigeria into production, and that was the reason why we set up Armal Technologies Limited to bridge the gap of manufacturing tech products, because we have brilliant engineers, brilliant software engineers. So it's an industry that everyone is shying away from. Everyone is trying to go into it. And I said, look, someone just has to break the ceiling. And I can confidently tell you that the ceiling has been broken. Wow.
So before 2018, what were you doing?
Originally, I started as a software engineer before I now moved into electronic engineering, because I realized my journey in software engineering is not enough for me for what I want to do. Because software engineering, you can only maybe write softwares, applications, and what have you. At maximum, even be an firmware engineer. That is, so now you have two types of software engineers. You have firmware engineer and then you have software engineers. So firmware engineer are the people that develop those source code, those software that sits on any product, your mobile phone, your any type of product. Then you have the software engineers that develop, the applets, the application that runs on those products. So that is how I move into electronic, because I want to produce products. I want to know how things have been produced. I'm not I wasn't satisfied with being just a software engineer, because I want to see that, how a product has been produced. So that is what led me into becoming an electronic engineer. And then I was training that aspect, that field.
Now you've been talking a lot of technical engineering, terminologies. So must one have engineering background before you go into this industry?
For me, I think for you to go into this industry, you must have a background in engineering, because you must know how things work. Just imagine if your team, they mess up on something, who is going to correct them, who is going to guide them? So you need to have that background, you need to have that basic knowledge on how electronics, how all these things work.
Knowing that this industry is capital intensive, when you were starting in 2018, did you have a kind of collaboration, any kind of help or incentive from any, organization, the government, or, how did you start?
As you mentioned, it's actually capital intensive, and it's not a one-day process. It takes time. The most important thing is you need to have that knowledge. You need to have that exposure. of how things works in the other part of the world. That's one. Then secondly, I did mention that I was a maker. I was producing products, prototyping, doing a lot of research. So I was looking at what can be done to help our economy. I remember back then, I think it was this 2016, 2017 when we used to have a lot of issues on pipelines and what have you. So as a maker that already have other products that I produce or prototype, I know we can have our own solution for pipeline, issues in terms of gas leakages, illegal tapping, and all those issues that relate to that industry. So that was when I developed a product called Smart Gas Leak and Smoke Detector. When I did that, I been hearing about NCDMB, and that is when I approached them. I told them, you being a local content that supports local companies, I think we can do this locally. They were really excited about it and they were very supportive. They invited me for presentation. I went there. That was in 2018. Then in 2019, January or so, I went there, presented the technology to them. And they have an R&D department. So we collaborated with that R&D department. So Armal Tech was founded under their R&D incubation process. Okay. So we built that together, That was the first partnership we had with them. We were trying to make sure the products can work, and we are trying to make sure we can compete with that product, and then we are also trying to see how to localize production locally, because that is what NCDMB stands for. So it took them like 3-4 years before we concluded with them. So that's when we signed. That's why we signed with them in 2021. Wow. So they have shares in our company. So with their support, we were able to get all this state-of-the-art equipment. We have they have an equity in the company. So as part of our own equity, of course, was to build these places and other things with the IP. So that is the only partnership, we have in terms of from the government. And then also, I must mention that we got some waiver for some of the equipment because we are pioneer in this industry. So we got some waivers for some of the equipment that we import into Nigeria.
Welcome back to the studio. As we continue to explore engineer Shehu Tijjani's success story, let's take a closer look at the journey of continuous growth and expansion. Here is a short documentary that highlights the state-of-the-art manufacturing equipment of Armal Technologies.
The journey of Armal Tech has been one of continuous growth, marked by the expansion of services to include embedded engineering, PCB design and manufacturing, computer numerical control CNC services, and 3D printing. Collaborating with clients across industries such as automotive, aerospace, healthcare, and consumer electronics, Armal Tech has become synonymous with high-quality products and services. The production room at Armal Technologies buzzes with activity, bustling with workers focused on their tasks. The room is divided into 3 distinct segments. In one corner, engineers meticulously design and drill the intricate printed circuit boards that serve as the base for every electronic device. The sound of machinery whirring fills the air as the boards are carefully crafted, from design to drilling. Adjacent to the PCB segment are the technicians who work diligently in the surface mount technology section. Here, components are assembled and fixed onto the PCBs based on the device's functionality. The room is a symphony of precision as each piece is carefully placed and soldered to fit. Lastly, at the mechanical production line hums with activity. Workers focus on crafting the sturdy enclosures and casings that house the sophisticated electronics produced by Armal Technologies. Contrary to traditional expectations, the factory floor isn't dominated solely by male workers. Instead, there is a notable presence of female trainees who have seamlessly integrated into the workforce. They work side by side with their male counterparts, showcasing their skills and dedication to the craft. Suddenly, the routine of the factory is interrupted when one of the regulatory bodies arrives unannounced. Their purpose? To monitor standardization and ensure quality control of the prepaid meters being manufactured from scratch by Armal Technologies. Armal Technologies has unwittingly achieved a significant milestone, emerging as the pioneer indigenous company manufacturing prepaid energy meters and prepaid water meters from scratch. Their unwavering dedication to quality and innovative practices had garnered attention, enhancing their standing with the industry. At Armal Technologies, a leading consumer electronics manufacturing company, operations flow effortlessly. The team remains steadfast in their dedication to upholding the highest standards of excellence in every product. With the factory bustling with activity, it is clear that Armal Technologies is positioned to maintain its leadership in electronic manufacturing for the foreseeable future. Under the visionary leadership of founder and CEO, Engineer Abdul, the company continues to innovate and excel in the industry.
That documentary showcased Armal Technologies' impressive growth and commitment to innovation. One thing that stood out to me was their state-of-the-art equipment, which is truly world-class. I also appreciate seeing the diversity of their workforce, including female workers who are clearly valued and are integral members of the team. It is great to see a company like Armal Technologies leading the way in inclusivity and gender equality. Kudos. Their commitment to excellence and innovation is evident in everything they do, from the design stage to manufacturing. Armal Technology is truly a leader in their field. Let's go back to join Nina's interview with engineer Shehu Tijjani Abdullahi, where he shared more about the innovative products Armal Technology is producing. Let's pick up from where we left off.
We look at the metering space, we saw there is a huge gap in this. And I can tell you the facility we have here in the entire of sub-Saharan Africa, no one has this kind of facility. And we know we can play a big role in, helping the government to bridge that gap of metering in Nigeria. That is why also we go into meter, and then also you would see our meter is even the cheapest in the country. It's below the neck price of single phase and three phase. So we have single phase and also three phase meters. We also have a smart valve. The smart valve works with the gas leak detector. The gas leak detector, if there is a gas leakage, it sends an SMS to you, it calls your mobile phone. While sending all those things, it communicates wirelessly and locally to the smart valve for up to 50 meters. So it shuts off the valve of the gas cylinder. We also have a cylinder monitoring device. So now, because we realize, people that use gas all the time, it's so, annoying when you want to cook or when you are cooking, then the gas just finished. So this device monitors the content of your gas cylinder, and then you have an app that you can monitor. Even if you don't check it, as long as the device is there, if the content is about to finish, it sends out an SMS to you. It can also place a gas refill.
How affordable are these products?
Of course, they are really affordable. Really,
For a common Nigerian.
absolutely, because one thing we know when designing products, we have our customers in mind. For instance, the gas leak detector, the first thing we did, the first version was an app and then an SMS. So I now realize that it's not everyone that have what they call it Wi-Fi in their homes. Because for the app one, you need to have a Wi-Fi connected to it. And then majority of Nigerians do not have that kind of luxury. So that is why, but SIM card is almost free. So all you need to do is just to top up that SIM card with 50 naira, 100 naira, and then if there's any gas leakage, you can have SMS. So you can see why we eliminate the app one, so that everyone can use it.
Yes. Same products.
Same products, same functionality.
What's the scope of customers you reach out to?
So actually,
continentally or globally?
So for us, we are Pan-Africanists, yes. So, but we look at our people first. But at the same time, we are also trying to help the economy. So now we're trying to solve issues. If you look at all our products, they're speaking to something. It's either safety or, ease of doing business or, making life easy for our people. That is all our products, what they talk about. That's what they do. So now, another thing that interests us is we know we can export this product and generate forex. So we don't just produce products, we do them based on the need for us to do it. For instance, we were trying to sell this gas leak detector to a very big client, and my people told me, oh, we do not have chargers. I said, oh, we don't have chargers. I asked them to check in area 1, because where they sell electronics stuff, and unfortunately, they went there, they couldn't get, they told me maybe they have to go there to supply and Yanya or something like that. And then something just told me that, look, with all these things that you have, like it's like a weapon, the state-of-the-art equipment, with the powerful R&D team, you can literally do anything. And then I told my people, oh, don't worry, we need to design and, develop our own charger. How can something as simple as charger be so difficult like this? So that same day, I remember I started sketching out something, and then I gave it to our main engineer, the hardware engineer. I told him, before I come tomorrow, let's try and work on this.
Let's look at your raw material. You said they're all locally sourced.
So actually, Nigeria has everything in terms of the raw materials. From our research, from what we know, I can tell you Nigeria, if not number one, the world that has the complete supply chain in terms of all the raw materials you need to produce all these things. It's in semiconductor or everything. But the only problem is all these raw materials are not being harnessed, they are not being used. We don't even know about it. Right? So you've been hearing about lithium just because there is a lot of, lithium is this price now. And that is when you see a lot of people talking about lithium. But there are other key raw materials that they are here. People are stepping on them every day, but they do not know. And those are the things that are being used to produce your mobile phones, everything that you're seeing. So, because we are pioneer in this industry, the basic infrastructure, the investment is not there. So what we need to do as a company, as an R&D company, is to first import those things, study them, do a research and look at it. Okay, do we have this in Nigeria? Oh, yes, we have this in Nigeria. So, but how do we start substituting all this? So our first initial product, we import everything, even the chemicals, knowing fully that we have all those chemicals. But now, as a company, you wouldn't want to start producing all the chemicals because the supply chain is a lot. It's a lot. But believe me, they are not rocket science. After all these raw materials have been extracted and then, exported to the Western world, and then they process those raw materials and to a finished product and send it to us. Now, we already have a breakthrough in terms of the key chemicals that produces the PCB. We know some we can get them in Nigeria. In fact, we even got some, I think from Kano also. In most of the countries, companies I went to, I do not see a company that does the complete, end-to-end production. You'll see a big company, for instance, that is producing a meter. I wouldn't want to mention their name, but you'll see they have an SMT. Yes, they design their hardware, they send it out to another company to produce a PCB, and then the PCB has been shipped back to them. They now assemble the components on the PCB, upload their software. They also have another company that produces the the casing, And for us here at Armal Tech, we have the complete 3 industries under one roof.
Wow.
The good thing and the advantage is it gives us the knowledge of the complete, the value chain of the production, the end to end. And then also the advantage again is we are able to control quality assurance, quality control, because you can see from the beginning how things are. And another advantage again is we already, we are having a lot of skilled workers. I can tell you our engineers, when you're talking about hardware, they can compete anywhere in the world.
Here we are taking a break from Nina's interview with engineer Tijjani Abdullahi, the founder and CEO of Armal Technologies. When we return, we'll hear more about his vision and leadership. But first, let's hear from some of the staff of Armal Technologies. They share their perspective on working with engineer Abdullahi and their projections from the company's future.
He's an astute businessman, but I would say he's more of an engineer. He studied embedded systems engineering, and he has background in business information and also IT. So he's a blend of a businessman and also an engineer. He has a very strong background in both software and hardware engineering. And of course, like you know, he pioneered these projects, and we've been in operations, let's say from the incubation stage in 2018 down to where it was launched sometime late last year, around December. So generally, I would say he's a very hardworking person, passionate about research and development and bringing to bear innovation technology in the African continent.
Engineer Shehu Tijjani he's an innovative businessman. He's very driven. He's very passionate about creating positive impact in the lives of people, not just in Nigeria, but beyond in Africa. And he is very, very dedicated and very friendly and professional.
Our MD has created an avenue for us to grow. He supports us with all what we need. We invited some expatriates to train us virtually, and his sense of humor, and also he's just a very good leader.
In the next 10 years, I see us not just being a trailblazer in the innovation sector in Nigeria, but in the African continent. So for now, we are still the first in terms of pioneering PCB technology and allied technologies in that range. And I see us in the next 10 years supplying this same quality of service to the African continent and beyond.
We want to take as much as we can people off streets, to employ people. It's part of our mission, it's part of our goal. The secondly is training. So for now, we have, I think, about 30 people, including non-technical staff, and we are anticipating by the next quarter of the year, we should have at least like 50 more people, because of other products that we anticipate will start producing.
Okay, but these trainees, they wouldn't necessarily need to come in with their engineering as in
No.
You can take school leavers.
Absolutely, school leavers. As long as you can read and write and you're willing to do that, we'll train you, and then you can become a professional.
Okay. Now, I would have loved you to talk about your product standardization. Is it international standard, and what are the regulatory bodies that you pass through?
Yeah, so for any product, we first of all follow the IEC standards, because if you're looking at exporting, you need to make sure you follow the IEC standards. And there are some agencies in Nigeria that if you want to sell a product to them, for instance, let's say the former, NMDPRA, they will not even look at you if you are not following that standard, if you want to supply them all those industrial dust detector. And then there are also some international certifications like CE, Certificate of Conformity. There are other, bodies. So we look at which one applies to which product, and then we develop and produce based on that. For instance, for meter now, we look at NEMSA and the Nigerian Metering Code. Based on that, we develop our own meters.
Now, semiconductor, where is Africa? Where is Nigeria in particular?
Our main goal at Armal Technologies is to go into semiconductor,
Okay.
because that is the end goal. It's a huge industry. As at last year, I think it was, the value was about $536 billion. And in the next couple of years, it will be like $1 trillion. So Nigeria needs to tap into it. The day our government pronounced or mentioned that we were going into semiconductor, you will be shocked with the kind of investment naturally that Nigeria will attract. So now, if you do that, you still need to import the key components of any electronic, which are the chips. But mind you, even other developed countries, they import chips. Because, right? But for us, we want to eliminate that. We want to see that Nigeria fully goes into semiconductor by designing our own chips and then also manufacturing. And I can give this good news to you that in the next couple of months, we will announce our progress in that aspect.
It is a wrap on today's program. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of Armal Technologies. We have seen their innovative products, heard from their staff, and learned from the vision and leadership of Engineer Shehu Tijjani Abdullahi. It is clear that Armal Technology is a company that is pushing the boundaries on what's possible. Thank you, Nena, and the Armal Technologies team for bringing this remarkable story to life. Goodbye and God bless.